Hello and welcome back to the Shmuseum. It is 7:20 something in the morning.
It's ridiculously early. We have our first guests arrive. Webber and Martin are here, bright and early, ready to start working.
We've got a lot of updates today. Number one, 675 LT Spider has a little bit of a problem. We need to pull that down and explain all of that. Number two, SF90 Stradale needs to go to Ferrari for a service. GTC Voluso needs to go for a service. Number 3, 4, I don't know where we're at now.
I've lost count.
This
has had a huge transformation over the last week.
Martin and Webber have just got here to carry on, but this is going so incredibly well. We've got some upstairs.
We do. We have the starts for some building work that we're doing upstairs.
Morning, guys.
Good morning. Happy Friday.
Ready to rock and roll. But come through here, come through here. This is a big deal. This is a big deal. You ready? Ta-da!
Oh my goodness, we can see.
We have some lights.
And not just the reception room.
No, we have some
We
lights.
have full downstairs lighting, essentially, in reception room and the lounge area. Obviously bits over there, kitchenette and things are to come, but we have light.
This is really cool. So what else are we doing? We might, if we've got time later on, head over to go pick something up. I've got a couple of meetings today as well, so it's going to be super, super busy. First thing, we need to get the LT down off the auto stacker so that it's over there, ready to be looked at to try and figure what's actually wrong with it. And that could present its own problems.
True.
Are we going to be able to get it down? We're going to find out in a second. So SF90 ready to go to service, LT down, let's go. Right, let me unplug this, turn that off, get this unlocked. That releases, and then we can basically pull this forwards, which is always quite fun. This car obviously just did a ton of miles on my trip around Europe with it, the winter tour if you will. We still actually need to clean up the roof box and bars and stuff. And then obviously this will be going for some new roof PPF, Topaz, but that's easy enough. Step one is just to move it out the way so that we can pull this down. And I just hope it's going to be able to start up, but everyone will see that in a moment, or if it doesn't, that's going to be the deciding factor.
LT coming down. First step, I've muted him so you don't hear beep, beep, beep the whole way. I don't know where he is, he's somewhere over there. Hello, Tim.
Right, to run through, just get this unplugged very quickly, although, talking about getting it unplugged, I forgot where the latch is. That's part of what today is going to be about, really.
Yes.
Batteries, charging. But basically, we're about to be joined by Steve from V Engineering, where you guys took the Senna when the Senna had some issues. Did you take this car over there?
No.
But the Senna certainly went over
Senna's
there.
been 100%.
Who knows a thing or two about these and what's possibly wrong with this.
Yeah, so he's going to come, take a look and see if we can figure out what's up and hopefully fix it.
We haven't actually shown any of the symptoms or anything about this yet. Let me pull it off, hopefully, and then we'll explain a little bit more. Case in point, it's been plugged in. And look at that. Battery is near on dead.
Pretty low, yeah.
Do you think it's going to start?
We'll find out.
You ready?
Yep. Well, that's good.
That's step one. Hopefully it's software, but there's something wrong with the battery in this car. To keep a long story very short for the time being, before Steve is with us to go through this in more detail, in McLaren's, of course, LT's other P11 platform cars, they have a lightweight lithium battery, which is a very clever battery with some trick software on an ECU that sits on the top of it effectively. It lets you know how many days it's going to last for. Lots of clever tech, very, very lightweight. Obviously costs a lot of money, many thousands. Unfortunately, those sometimes fail. Of course, this car is 6.5 years old. It's nearly 7 years old.
Yeah, it must be.
Time is flying. Unfortunately, it's just not reading correctly. The battery is probably fine. It's lived on a C-Tech charger, which of course has done everything we need it to do. And the fact is, even though it's showing that there's a problem, it still starts like that. However, it could be the battery. It could be something else. Something here is toast, and we need to get out the boot liner and...
Yeah, which surprisingly for a car of this level isn't as difficult as you would think.
No?
No,
I don't think I've ever done it.
Bolts, screws, a few little like push clips, and then it pulls out in one go. It's
basically, we're going to prepare this and then see what happens a little bit later on. Brad has grabbed the tools and got started straight away.
5 minutes later.
So I believe if we've done everything correctly, it should just lift up and out. I'll take it your way.
Okay, magic. We have a battery.
Battery, yeah.
We can pop this down. Yeah, that's good. Okay, we're gonna have to come back to this when we're joined by Steve from V in a moment. Speaking of cars with problems, potentially broken or damaged cars, this is where today's video sponsor, Car Vertical, step right in. Now, as I often said, I run Car Vertical checks whenever I purchase a car to try and find out as much as I can about the history of that particular vehicle, being connected to all sorts of different insurance databases, government registries, being able to find out the history of different cars, tells you the story, saves you time and money. And let's just say you wanted to look at a McLaren that might have been repaired and brought back to perfect shape, and then you could see that its history looked a little bit like this particular 720S, you'd probably want to know about it. That car has, of course, had some thermal damage, we could say, but you can also find out about MOT records, mileage records, all sorts of different information, finance, things that you would want to know about a vehicle before you've made the effort to go and visit it, to go and view it, to make sure that you're looking at the right car for you. Not only that, Car Vertical are offering you guys 10% off as well, with the link and discount details down below as well. So make sure to check out Car Vertical. I thoroughly recommend running a check before your purchase, and you could be saving a lot of time that you'd otherwise be wasting on a car that's not right for you. It knows it's cold. It's preheating the battery. There we go, better. So, first step right now is to take both Ferraris over to HRO and Ferrari. This needs its first year service. I think there's a recall for the Lusso.
Yeah, something to do with brake reservoir cap.
Normal stuff with any of these kind of things. And they're both utterly filthy because that has road grime from Europe, that has winter road grime from the UK. Yeah, we're good to go. It's early, brain isn't functioning yet.
Just stepping outside before these guys leave, and it is snowing. It has literally just started snowing.
I'm going to point out at this stage that both of these cars have winter tyres on them.
Yeah, this is actually the perfect time to take both of these out.
They're the only two cars in the garage that have winter tyres. They're both four-wheel drive.
Perfect. Literally perfect. This is so random, but we have snow out of nowhere. And this morning when we both came in, there was no snow until right now.
No, it wasn't.
And it's quite heavy. Right.
And you're wearing a t-shirt.
Yeah.
You're mad, right?
You two go, I'm going to go inside.
Yeah. This isn't ideal. We've made it.
It's snowing. Haven't you just come away from a winter tour in this and
Yeah.
you brought the winter with you?
Yeah, but heavy snow, not like this. This is really wet snow, I'm going to say.
Yeah, it's not nice.
This car's seen a lot of it.
Yeah.
You've never driven a Ferrari in the snow.
No, so this is a cool, like, tick off the bucket list to me. Okay, I say that. I did slide that around a little bit on the farm in the snow.
True.
This is the first time I've driven a Ferrari on the road in the snow. So one to tick off the bucket list. Thanks, Tim.
That's all right. We're going to go and drop off some keys. We've got lots of cars coming
I have
around.
Lusso one here.
I've got the SF91. They're shuffling cars around everywhere at the minute. Right, let's just go in.
There are some cool cars around. Sorry, can I just point out, I've got the 599, 575 over there. There are some cool cars laying around.
Pista.
Pista as well,
mention
yeah.
the Pista.
Sorry, I'm mentioning the older stuff. But
Portofino,
in fact,
Lusso,
I say
458.
575, I think it's a 550. Yeah, let's
One
go
of the
in,
two.
before I get it wrong.
It's cold. We're back then, and Steve from V Engineering has very kindly come to help us with this.
Yeah.
Which has taken a bit, I mean, you're familiar with these. You've obviously had a career working with these, and you see a lot of all McLarens, as you guys will know from my Senna coming to visit you and plenty more. Can you explain a little bit about what happened here? What's gone on?
Yeah, so the McLaren's got a lithium battery. So like a laptop battery, it's got a computer in it, and it monitors itself, and it's supposed to keep track of the charge and tell you what the power output of the battery's doing. But this battery has a habit of getting a bit confused. So it's a bit like leaving your laptop in a cupboard for 6 years, getting it out to charge it, and it doesn't do very much because the battery doesn't know how much storage it's got left in it. You have to charge it a couple of times, but this particular software that seems to be on this battery gets really confused and doesn't want to work anymore. So we've done a software update on this battery now, and we're just fully charging it with my super duper charger here. Normal charger will also work to do this, but basically we're just going to charge it up till it does what we call a state of charge reset. So it just resets the battery, and it should all click it back into life again. And fingers crossed, it's good as new.
So from the experience I had, obviously, it was kind of like it was behaving almost normally, but saying it had nothing.
Yeah.
It's because, like you just said, and this is an analogy probably all of us can relate to with mobile phones and whatever.
Yeah.
It just needs to be run back through cycles.
Yeah, it's almost like it thinks it's really aged, but it's not. So like your iPhone or other phones are available. But it's like when your phone is telling you you've only got 80% and suddenly it goes from 80 to 40 to 20 really quickly. It's because it's aged and the battery's worn. It can't hold the charge for very long. This battery's probably fine still because we have put over 30 amp hours of charge into it.
Okay.
And it only has 58 maximum anyway. So it's definitely taking charge and it's working. The voltage is good. But it's just the brain inside is totally confused. So it won't know what's going on until it's fully charged right at the top of charge. And then it will reset and we'll be all good, hopefully.
That's really interesting. So getting it will plug it back into the CTEC, get it up to 100% again.
Yeah.
And then when it gets to 100%, that's the point at which it will be like, right, I'm good now. I know what's going on.
Yeah.
And back in as it should be. So you've been hooked up, plugged in, updating the, is it right to say there's kind of an ECU on the battery?
Yes, it's called the IBS, Intelligent Battery Sensor.
Okay.
Most cars call it that. The Germans probably give it a different acronym. But most cars have got a battery sensor, even if it's not got a lithium battery these days. So the car can monitor the current draw going through the battery, in or out. And that's how modern cars can tell you that your battery's low. And sometimes they can give you a warning saying your battery's low, you need to charge it. And also most cars these days will turn certain systems off to try and maintain the battery. So that's what the McLaren should do. If you come to your McLaren, your windows have dropped.
Yeah, that's what it was doing.
You know your battery's getting low, but it's not, so the car ignores the voltage. So even though this battery's fully charged at the moment, it's ignoring the fact that it's fully charged.
Okay.
If I unplug the little ECU switch plug there, the little wire, the car will work. The ignition will come on. It works fine, but you have a warning saying the battery's
That's effectively
disconnected.
what we had. And when I was driving, I didn't explain this earlier, but when we were driving, it wouldn't even let us put the windows up, even when we're on the road.
Yeah, until it trips over like 20%, I think.
That
and then
makes
it will,
sense, because it pinged up on the digital readout about 13%.
And I think what also it was doing, it was going from like 20% to 100% in a mile.
Yeah.
And you know, it's just really confused.
Something's a little bit cuckoo. So in theory, would it have stopped on us? Would it have failed on us? Would it have left me at the side of the road somewhere?
It's what it's saying is possibly happening because it thinks it's much lower than it actually is.
Yeah.
But the alternator is sort of separate to that and it's still charging the battery. So not really.
So it wouldn't
there were a few occurrences of 570s, I think mainly, just turning off whilst driving. So
that's weird.
Yeah.
But so while it wouldn't necessarily have left us stranded, it was pinging up errors, not letting us put the windows up. So on a day like today, with the weather outside, we'd have had to drive. Yeah, that wouldn't go so well.
Yeah.
But thankfully, it's now going to be all good, right as rain, as it should be. Thank you very much for coming out and working on this. And obviously, this car and the Senna are going to be back with you guys at V at some point, I'm sure, for various upgrades and things down the line. So awesome. Thank you.
Cool. No worries.
Are you filming? Mister, you doing a video? Are you? Are you videoing some cars? That's nice.
Steve has just left, but we're going to take the Zenvo outside. And believe it or not, this car's not actually been outside.
Yeah, like when it was dropped off by Tony, we literally reversed the trailer into about here. It came in here and it's parked there ever since.
Hasn't moved in 2 and a bit months. It's kind of strange that's beyond what we normally do. However, it's going to be heading out very soon. For now though, we're going to take it out to give it a quick rinse down because it's a little bit dusty. And just want to check it's all running properly before I do take it for my first UK drive. So this is going to be, I don't know, it feels strange. It feels really strange.
This is like not a learning curve, but like remembering.
Yes.
You've got to remember everything and how it works and all of that jazz.
Reaccustomed with everything. So, key in there. I haven't unplugged the CTEC. I should probably go and do that.
I can do that for you if you like.
Yes, please.
I'll go over there.
Thank you, Brad. Now let's start it. CTEC unplugged.
Oh, we have
Gonna give it a
lights
moment.
and displays.
Yes, of course. Everything should work completely as it is supposed to. I'm just gonna wait for it to prime for a moment.
Apart from your iPad. But that's fine.
Oh yeah,
because
that's
the car
out of
hasn't
battery.
had any power actually inside the car, so that will charge back up, I presume, once it's on.
Yes, shall we start it?
Go on then. race into life.
It's cold. The car's cold. I'm cold. Today is just savagely cold.
Out it comes. It is very, very dusty. You can see that now as it comes outside. But Zenvo out into the wild for the first time.
Right. Let me give you the demo of the wing in action.
Yeah, we've got Martin with us who hasn't seen this. You come around here so we can get your reaction. Go on, round you go. Round you go. Please go and stand next to the wing.
Wait, what mode do I have to be in?
Today would be good.
Have you forgotten?
No, I don't want to start it. What mode do I have to be in? I don't
know.
remember.
Ignition on.
I'm sure it's that.
There we go. Dancing wings. It's wild, isn't it?
I'm gonna get one for my van.
That's good. Yeah, you should. Put one on the van.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, food. I can't do waking up at like 6 or whatever it is and not having lunch.
Completely, innit?
I haven't eaten anything today.
That's not good.
Am I still on the mic?
Yeah.
Can we do some lunch? Can we do some lunch?
You can. I've had
Tim
lunch.
have some lunch?
I've been awake for 8.5 hours and I haven't
I've
had lunch
had
yet.
breakfast, packed lunch,
Yeah.
hobnobs.
11's is.
What?
We had a picnic. We've had brioche.
We've actually had a full banquet as well. First thing.
Banquet. I've had a curry, KFC, McDonald's, and Poppadoms, and Pringles dipped in my tea.
Snow foam has been applied, obviously using our Topaz products, and now it's just time for a quick rinse down. And this instantly you can see has brought back some of the sort of richness, I guess, and clarity in the paintwork, because we now don't have it covered in a sort of grey dust. But cool to have this outside. This either has or will be at some point going out for its first UK drive, I guess. Tim's going to take this out somewhere. I'm not sure when or where or how, but that will be happening at some point. Straight back in Zenvo comes. So it'll be parked pretty much here. It'll get a blow dry and then it can be parked back up and maybe covered, because I assume there's more dusty work happening. I don't know.
Zenvo is now clean and looking absolutely amazing, but we're going to head back over to the McLaren 675 LT. As you saw, Steve from V came round, did the software update, popped it on his charger, and we then swapped over to the CS1 just because of the length of time it was going to take. That last few percent on a lithium battery takes forever. We're now there, the car is communicating with the battery, they can talk to each other, all percentages are correct. So it's time to put this back together, and Brad has entrusted myself to do this.
For some reason, yes.
For some reason, but no, do you know what? The first time this ever, okay, not the first time, but the first time this ever came apart here inside the Shmuseum.
The team, us, Tim, myself.
It was myself that did most of it with you for guidance, just so I didn't break anything. So I can actually do this one. So if we come and grab the tub.
Do you know what we should do first, or where does that plug in? Oh, that plugs in there, so that's actually good to see.
Yeah, no, it's completely out of the way. We can leave it fully plugged in. Right, I've gone wrong already. Can you lift up the surround for me?
Oh yes, we probably want that out of the way.
Yep. So there
this
you
is
go.
why I'm here.
I just said I can do this, but luckily I saw my mistake before I made it. So that one will slot back into place there. All the holes kind of roughly line up there. We then have 3 different types of screw up front here. We have the plastic clips where you pop those ones in and then the screw goes in. We have metal screws and then hex bolts as well. No idea why. Just one type of screw would be fine. But these ones clip back in here like this. Okay, we've swapped positions real quick just because Brad has his Whizzy Whizzy. I don't know, what's it actually called?
This is I'm going to read it, is a 12 volt, 3/8 square drive cordless ratchet wrench, 45 newton meters.
Brad has that, so he's taken over at this point just to do up the screws that are in there. We've done all the ones around here. Those are the screws. This piece has been put back.
I'll tell you what,
Final few screws there.
the chance of them hearing you is going to be very slim there, because I'm here going,
Oh yeah.
yeah, mics and all that stuff. But it's fine, it will work. You've probably heard enough. If you didn't, Tom just said I'm doing the final screws and we're now done.
Because he's got the Whizzy Whizzy thing,
Yeah,
which Brad then
means
said, yeah.
we can unplug this.
We can unplug this and park it back up.
Happy days. And then as well, maybe before we park this up, we need to show the car that we've teased that you've been using for the last few days.
Yes, Tim, at the start of the video, Tim did say I've turned up in a car that isn't mine. And yes, I've been driving something a little bit different.
Should we go and pull that in right now and show what it is?
Let's go and do that.
Time to reveal the car that we have for the week. Tom's been using it and enjoying it. Now in the collection we have various cars, you know, we have the shooting breaker, the Lusso, we have the supercars, but we don't have a sporty saloon. And here we have the Audi UK S8. This thing is absolutely lovely. And I'm hoping you can hear it, because I've got the mic pointed at me, but it sounds pretty epic too. So I think we'll let Tom jump out, which raises up, that's quite cool, and then we'll have a full chat and a little walk around of the Audi S8.
Now, as Brad's just said, there isn't a big comfortable limo, and there isn't a big car in this museum ever since the departure of the G-Wagon. So we wanted to try out something different, and I've stolen it for a while. So here we have the S8 in Daytona grey with the red Merlot leather interior, which is a stunning colour. So I guess we're just going to go around and pick out a few standout features that I've figured out living with this over the last couple of days.
Yeah, let's do that, because this thing, like I said, yeah, as I said, we don't have something like this. It's luxurious, it's comfortable, practical, and... But
being the S8 fits into this garage very well, actually. So if we start at the front, we've got the LED matrix headlights, which are absolutely phenomenal, which obviously means you can have your high beam on pretty much all the time, and it blocks out what it should and keeps on what it should, so that you can keep that visibility going all of the time. I think Brad's already pointed it out, but what I love is the entry system on this. So as soon as you open the door, the suspension raises up to make getting in and out that little bit easier.
That's the complete opposite from my car, because when I park up, I normally go and drop to the floor. So
you do. It does go back down once you get in it and close the door.
Show this interior.
Yeah, I would say if you pop in and have a look, I have been living with the car, so it's not completely clean, do excuse that. But the colour of this is stunning.
Yeah, this is a really, really nice place to be. So this Merlot red is kind of like a burgundy browny red, but really, really nice, especially over the grey. And obviously you get all the lovely big screens that you get with Audi models.
And of course, carbon fibre absolutely everywhere. We've got these lovely storage bins just here, which are very useful for keeping bits and pieces in as well.
B&O, is it Bowers?
No, Bang & Olufsen sound system, which this has got the upgraded 3D Bang & Olufsen sound system at a cost of approximately...
Let me just see if I can get a zoom in. They are there, and they do pop up when the ignition things are on.
The tweeters do pop up indeed, yeah, very similar to the old Aston DBS. Now, yeah, in here we've got the side blinds, as well as the rear blind, all electronically controlled. Down in the middle, I'll have to fold this one down, Brad, and then let me come through and have a look. Have a look.
Here we go.
We've got the screen there on the centre armrest.
That is pretty cool. So is that you can go on here and let's see.
You can.
Is it ignition on maybe? Ignition on, let's see.
I can here and do that.
And then tap the screen. Maybe.
Give it a second.
Music, oh dear.
No, that's just
no. Oh, okay.
Message.
Here we go. Rear seat remote has come on. I'm going to take a seat in here actually. Let me just jump in. Connecting to MMI, and I'm guessing we're going to have basically every option here. What's it like to drive actually while you're up the front?
To drive, it's absolutely phenomenal. I often find myself saying this with modern cars with adaptive damping, but the way this can go from floatiness, and it has a system in it actually where it's got a camera up front and it can read bumps in the road ahead, and you approach said bump, and you know when you prepare yourself, you go, right, I'm going to feel this,
flinch or tense up a bit.
And then you go over it and you go, wait, hang on, where was the bump? Because you can hear the suspension kind of lifting itself up to float over the bump. Then you put it in dynamic mode and it becomes an RS4. It's absolutely amazing. But your screen is now loaded.
Yeah, so what we've got, seats, lights, blinds. Now, one feature you mentioned, so we've got soft close obviously, with something like this you have it, so I think I fully closed actually. Full close, but the buttons for the blinds, so I've got two window switches here, which is one for the passenger side and one for the driver's side of the vehicle. So if I press down, that pops the blind down, and if you can press it again and I can look out the window. Yep. But let's say I need to see out this window or speak to someone over this side, I can press the same button on the other side.
Yep.
And that opens that.
Also, you can control them from here in the menu on the blinds. Not only can you do your blinds, you can even control the sunroof from back here.
So sunroof is currently, here we go, front sun blind.
Yep.
That is currently open, so if I press that one, that's closed. I'm in the back. Yeah. I'm being chauffeured around by yourself.
Yep.
I don't want to see the sun. Let's close that.
That's the thing. This is equally set up for the driver as it is the passenger.
Very fancy. Let's just jump out.
Now, another feature that I've discovered that it actually shamefully took me a couple of days to figure this one out, which I'd quite like you to stand here for, and I'm going to go and get in the car, which is the LED tail lights. Now, these are OLED tail lights, but they come with a bit of a difference that I've certainly never seen in a car. Now, if you don't like the design of your lights, normally well, there isn't overly much you can do about that. However, with the Audi S8, watch this.
Let's change some rear lights then. So this is one of the options here. Next one, we've got like a full sort of square, I guess. Oh, here we go. That's like flashing between top and bottom. What else do we have? Oh, oh, hello. That looks like a Lamborghini to me. Oh, so this is interesting. I feel like it's changing when I walk behind the car. If Tom moves, look, Tom, walk out the way. This is kind of okay, so here's the lights on the sort of Lamborghini setting, but I think as soon as you come round, it knows there's someone behind you and it puts the lights on full, or maybe to make sure you know that the car is here. That's quite clever.
I obviously said it's very fitting, being the S8, being in this garage. Now, I guess we should talk about that one a little bit. Underneath the bonnet, we have Audi's fantastic 4-litre bi-turbo V8 running 570 PS and a 0 to 60 time of 3.8 seconds. Now, for something that weighs 2.2 tonne, that is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive, and yeah, I'm imagining it gets a pretty good groove on down a nice twisty road and an autobahn. That, I think, is exactly where it's made for.
Yeah.
Get on an autobahn, de-restricted section, hit the top speed, and you'd be, I guess, wafting away.
Yeah, I believe this one's limited to 155 miles an hour. There probably is a limiter upgrade that you can get with these things, as there always is. And I mean, the one thing I can tell you is, driving along at 70 miles an hour in Comfort Plus mode, it genuinely feels like you're doing 20 miles an hour. The sound insulation is absolutely phenomenal. The ride comfort is phenomenal. It's just such a comforting, cosseting car that you just never want to get out of it. It's got massage seats, heated and cooled seats. I mean, there's so much stuff I probably haven't said because it just has everything.
So I think we're going to sum this car up in one word, and that word is phenomenal.
Brad is now just going to hop in the 675 LT, and we're going to park this one back into its space now that this is all fixed. So obviously we're going to come around the back because this is going to be a lovely cold start.
I'm back from my little errand run. It's not entirely been as successful as I hoped it was going to be.
No, we were expecting you to bring something back with you, but
Yeah.
you haven't.
So there's a van outside which has some things in it, but we're not going to show you that yet because the main thing was too big to fit in the transit van. That's the biggest clue I'm going to give right now. It's a problem for you guys to try and find a solution to.
Yep, future video, we will work that
Yes.
out and hopefully bring the mystery item back here.
Something really, really, really cool that's going to fit right in here. Very, very special. Now, I tell you what, as we look around, with the Zenvo completely clean and looking beautiful, especially the glass, and then you look at the layer of dust on other cars right now, we need to work on that. We might have to clean everything and cover everything.
I think that is the best bit. I'm kind of regretting because I cleaned my car just before Martin came back in and didn't cover it, and it's also now covered in a layer of dust.
We knew this would be a thing. We knew that going over all of this and doing the sanding down on it was going to trigger that. Like, there's no way around it. Cars, thankfully, can just be hosed down, right? They're not going to
snow foam, rinse, dry, done.
So,
happy days.
At the end of the day, nothing really lost. And the great thing is, thanks to V Engineering, the LT is up and running, plugged back in now, and golden as it should be. We need to tidy up some various chargers and things we have lying around. But all in all, pretty effective day.
We've had a busy day. Meetings, stuff going on with cars.
Off camera. How many meetings today? Like 3 business meetings here today?
3 or so, yeah.
Like each of which has been an hour and a half. I am absolutely shocked because we started at 7, was it 7:15? I can't even remember.
7:20, I think we said when we started.
It's been a very long day. And I've actually still got a fair bit to go before leaving here. But a successful day, a good day. So guys, don't forget Car Vertical, big thanks to them as always. Like I say, I run Car Vertical checks. I thoroughly recommend you do as well. And you can get 10% off now too. That's it for now though. Until next time.